I'm Mark Reed, candidate for Congress. First, thank you for visiting my website. There's a lot of information here about what's happening to our great nation. As a businessman, a family man, and a true constitutionalist, I'm appalled that we've allowed the leadership of the United States of America, the most prosperous, generous, free, and exceptional country the world has ever seen, turn its back on the fundamental edicts that the Constitution of this great nation laid down so many years ago. The adage that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by inalienable rights to pursue happiness, and most of all, freedom from tyranny. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at a historic moment in our country's history, and it's not about laying blame. It's not about petty partisanship. It's about the role of government in our lives, and that is the crux of this election. I believe that the strength of our country does not lie in the hallowed halls of Washington, D.C., but at the dinner tables across America. The strength of our country comes from the hearts and the minds and the will of our people, the free people of these United States of America. If we continue to allow this government to take more and more liberty and freedom away from us, we are destined to become a country that will have to bend to the will of our creditors. Right here, right now, we have to make changes. And the question is not, are we going to change? That is a foregone conclusion. The question is, are we as a people going to change the way our government is run? Or are we going to let our creditors dictate that change to us? In the last 3 decades, we have seen our national debt climb to unbelievable levels that are absolutely unsustainable. Isn't it crazy that you and I, having to live within our means, this government has been borrowing money at unprecedented levels to fund programs that were created with all good intentions, without any thought to how these programs and institutions are going to be sustainable? It's total madness. Don't misunderstand me. I believe that we can be free and prosperous with economic freedom, that with hard work and sacrifice, you can be anything you want to be, no matter your background, your religion, your skin color, or gender, and we can be a compassionate country. There's no doubt in my mind that we need a safety net, but it cannot turn into an entitlement, a way of life. That mentality is weakening our country. If we continue to be a country of entitlements, we will forever be at the mercy of outside influences, our creditors, and they will dictate how this country will change. I don't want to see that happen to my children or my grandchildren. I believe that we need government regulations to protect our rivers, streams, oceans, and the air we breathe. After all, my ancestors were American Indians, so I have a natural affinity for the environment. But we need common sense. We need to explore our natural resources, and we can be energy independent. I don't believe we have to compromise safe energy exploration and endanger our forests, wilderness, or our seashores and handcuff our energy producers. Our current policies are killing jobs and creating a national security threat. At this juncture, at this moment in our history, at one of the most critical times in our nation's future, the most important question you have to ask yourself is, am I better off today than I was 4 years ago? And do you think we, as a country, are on a path of prosperity? Do you think the policies that this administration is pursuing will ultimately benefit you and your loved ones? You know, if you're like me, the answer is a resounding no. This administration has already admitted that you aren't better off now than when they came into power. And in my opinion, they've made things worse, much worse. We have fewer freedoms, fewer incentives, fewer opportunities, and find ourselves deeper in debt. And all this administration and its party can offer us is more of the same, tax and spend. Look, it didn't work before and it won't work now. In our long history, this country has had a AAA credit rating. During the time that this administration has been in power, we've had more regulations strangling free market enterprise, more people on welfare and unemployment, more government intervention into our lives, more departments and bureaus and committees than we've ever had. And in 3 short years, the United States of America, the most exceptional country on planet Earth, has had its credit rating decimated. All because this administration has refused to face the reality that common economic sense dictates. You can't spend more than you bring in. We must reduce our spending without raising taxes. It can be done. We cannot allow this unprecedented escalation of spending ruin our entire economy. Raising taxes at this time is merely window dressing. The idea that raising taxes on anyone will reduce our deficit is absolutely ludicrous. The key to economic prosperity is cut, cap, and balance the budget. Repeal the regulations that are strangling our small businesses, the engine of job creation, and unleash the extraordinary ingenuity of our entrepreneurs. I'm Mark Reed, and I want your vote. I want your commitment to this great cause. It helped to restore the promise of our Constitution, the most incredible document that man has ever created, restored, protected, and defended. I challenge you to join my campaign. Together, we can create a better tomorrow. We can unleash the incredible power of the free marketplace and create jobs at unprecedented levels. My question to you is, how much control do you want the government to have over your everyday lives? Before I sign off, think about this quote by Cicero. The budget should be balanced. The treasury must be replenished. Public debt should be reduced. The arrogance of public officials should be tempered and controlled, and assistance to other countries must be removed so Rome does not go bankrupt. People must learn to work again instead of living off the state. The year was 55 BC, and not much has changed, has it? Send me to Washington, D.C., and I won't let you or our country down. Thank you for listening. God bless you, and God bless America.